Hello, I am doing my presentation on tornadoes. So here it is. What is a tornado? Just to kind of start off with the basics. A tornado, described by Bill Tillery, is the smallest, most violent weather disturbance that occurs on Earth. So, simply put, it's kind of like a severe storm. They'll always start off, or almost always at least, start off with a severe thunderstorm, rain, hail, just kind of typical thunderstorm like characteristics, symptoms almost of a thunderstorm. So all of that will come through. Normally it'll kind of appear as if the thunderstorm is leaving, the rain kind of stops, hail goes away. So it will seem like the storm is over. A lot of times the sky will turn greenish, kind of like a haunting kind of color. But it seems as if the thunderstorm is gone. That's kind of when the tornado kind of kicks in. But it's caused by, the thunderstorm does kind of cause it, because when a thunderstorm comes in, the air is really unstable. Unstable air is described as, to start off, stable air, just like a normal air, moves horizontally. Kind of here, you can see this horizontal air. It's going not vertically, just kind of level. Layers. So you're gonna have layers of air. That's like a normal stable air. When it's unstable, it's gonna start moving up and down or vertically. So you can kind of see that here. It's moving up and down, and all these air masses are hitting each other, going into each other, and it's making a really unstable situation go on here. You're also gonna have varying temperatures. So you're gonna have cold air, warm air, and then when all this air is mixing, it's kind of all mixing together and spinning around, which is what's gonna cause the tornado. Here, this kind of quote kind of clears up any confusion about the air. So it says, stable air lies in layers, like those in a cake. Wind may blow through it horizontally, but there's little or no vertical movement of air. Unstable air is quite different. It rises and continues to rise until it reaches a level where its density is equal to the density of the air above it, and it can rise no further. Sometimes the rising air can reach a very great height. This is what happens in a large storm. So that air is moving upwards and not like it's supposed to, just in layers. So next question is, are there different types of tornadoes? Is it all just one tornado or one kind of tornado? There's actually two different main types of tornadoes. The first is a supercell, and then the second is a non-supercell. Start off, we'll kind of describe a supercell tornado. So the majority of tornadoes is a supercell tornado. It's the most common, and then also with the most common, it's also the most dangerous. So a supercell tornado is going to be a lot more deadly, a lot more damage than a non-supercell. Yeah, they are formed near the ground, or the air starts to form on the ground. So the air near the ground, the speed is going to be a lot slower. It's going to be more relaxed. And then versus you guys see in this tornado, the air like way up here in the sky, that's going to be moving a lot faster. So when you have the slow air down here moving up, and then you have the fast air, those are mixing. And then in addition to the temperature variations, so the cold air and the warm, not really hot air, but more warm air, those are all mixing, which is going to cause the spinning and the circulating clouds. But the biggest reason is the speed of the air, where it's slow down here, fast up here. And then in comparison is the non-supercell. So I have a quote here. Nearly 20% of all tornadoes are associated with lines of strong thunderstorms called quasi-linear convective systems. So only like 20% of them are these special types of thunderstorms which escalate into tornadoes. These tornadoes frequently occur during late night or early morning hours, so not really in the daytime, These tornadoes are normally weaker and shorter compared with a supercell. So they're not as common, and they're also not strong, a lot weaker, and they're shorter. So they would seem like the better option for a tornado, but they're not as common, unfortunately. There's also two other types of non-supercell tornadoes. It's a land spout and a water spout. So essentially they are the same type of tornado. The swirling starts near the ground. These tornadoes normally start to form before the thunderstorm even is in full formation. So it's really early on, and it'll start forming near the ground instead of up in the sky and then move down. So the land spout, hence the name, forms over land normally, and then the water spout will form over water. So it just kind of depends on where it forms. The effects of tornadoes, pretty bad. So in all these pictures, just a lot of destruction. You can see woods, trees literally have their tops torn off. Houses totally demolished. Trees on houses. This house is just got like all the walls ripped off. Cars destroyed. So the effects are pretty drastic. Very dangerous. Many lives have been lost. So another reason for tornadoes, or kind of like a symptom of a tornado, there's gonna be really high winds. On May 3rd, 1999, one of the highest recorded winds was 318 miles per hour. This is a really fast wind. The magnitude of the damage is also due to the speed of the tornado as well. On average, an average speed of a tornado is around 10 to 20 miles an hour. So it doesn't seem that fast, but when they're as wide as they are, it can do a lot. And then that wind is just in there, the 300 miles an hour wind. Although that's not typical, it can happen. Tornadoes can also go up to 60 miles an hour. They did have a 60 mile an hour recorded one, so they can get pretty fast. And you can see these pictures of the wind taking down these trees. Where are tornadoes? Tornadoes can essentially happen anywhere in the world except Antarctica. But a lot of the major places to find a tornado is in like Tornado Alley around Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas in the US. Some other countries like the UK, Bangladesh, Argentina, they see a lot of tornadoes as well. The US is number 1 in the world to get tornadoes. Canada is also really high up there, number 2 in most sites. So North America is a hot spot for tornadoes for sure. And then this map kind of shows you like where Florida gets some, but the majority is gonna be over here in like the Tornado Alley part of America. What can you do? There's a lot of steps you can take to just kind of ensure tornado safety. Take shelter. Pretty much you want to be anywhere where you have like a secure foundation. Like you don't want to be in a car, something that can float up. There are shelters that are designed for tornado safety. That would be ideal. Otherwise you can just like take refuge in your basement. Windows can be up for the air pressure to kind of release and not build up in one place. But normally basements are a good place to hide. We have Antarctica, which so far, no tornadoes there. For the temperature, they say it's not possible for a tornado to actually form there because of the cold air. But if you live anywhere else in the world, chances are there'll be a tornado. Maybe not your area specifically, but probably in your state, your country. So anywhere else, you'll probably find a tornado. But yeah, that is my presentation on tornadoes. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.